What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Welcome back to Top Bins, the show bringing you all the latest from around the beautiful game in the world of soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, here on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. KB, Harrison, and Mark back at you. We're going to break down some Premier League action. We had a whole bunch of midweek going on. We still have one game left by the time we're recording this. You guys will be watching that game occur between West Ham and Leicester, but we'll break down everything that's happened since the last time we recorded. We'll get into our Champions League predictions as we now have the whole slate ready to rock and roll. And then one of us has FA Cup weekend. All eyes on the FA Cup, biggest game of the season, ready to go. Up the Albion, baby. So we'll get into all of that. But before we do, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at FC Top Bins on Twitter and TikTok, and at Top Bins Pod on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. Goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow and every show on our network. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show every single week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,030 subscribers, looking to get to 1,100 before March Madness tips off. So keep subscribing, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and keep on subscribing. And this show is powered by our good pals over at Classic Football Shirts. Guys, you want to stand out, whether you're going out with friends, supporting your team, getting that good old vintage look, Classic Football Shirts is the place to do it. They have the best catalog of everything you need from every era of soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, shirts, apparel. It's all available at Classic Football Shirts. Use our link in the description, shop Classic Football Shirts. And when you use our link, it helps support the show. It lets Classic Football Shirts know you're coming from us. So use our link in the description when you shop at Classic Football Shirts, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. How we doing, boys? I just got back from New York. Long day. And Mark, hopefully you don't get too famous where you have to end up leaving the pod because you're going dummy viral right now on the old Bird app. But how we doing, boys?
Don't.
I'm doing
Harrison, you can go.
Last week.
Harrison's going to talk more this week.
I'm not just stuck.
I'm going to talk as much as Harrison talked last week. So
my team actually got a win this week, so it's a miracle. We won a game. Won. Who would have thought?
Basically, have
I will have questions for you, Harrison, about Saturday, though.
Okay.
Basically, have two match weeks to break down. Obviously, the weekend happened, and then we have the midweek to break down as well. But from the weekend, some of the big storylines. Mark, we'll start with you.
God, okay, fine.
West Ham won, Arsenal 0, a red card. Not ideal. Not ideal to lose at home to West Ham.
No. We were just bad, simply put. We just had no attacking instinct really going forward. Thought Odegaard played terribly. Also, the red card, was probably the first red card of the season where I had no issues with it. I felt like it was genuinely a red card. I was shocked it was only yellow at first, but then it went to VAR and overturned it, rightfully so. Yeah, and that's at that point. We gave up a goal as a dumb counter goal to give up. I have questions about Gabriel, why he didn't head the cross, but and then they just sat back and when your striker is Mikel Merino, He was like a fine player, but he's not a striker. And you don't want to bring up the corpse of Raheem Sterling, like. And I get why Arteta doesn't want to trust the child, and when we were still at the time in the title race. So, yeah, no, it's over. The title race, at least. At this point, just consolidate top two. I still think we'll finish second. We just have to get through 4 games without Saka and Martinelli. I think by the time they get back, and then for the run in, I feel confident about our chances of finishing second and maybe doing well in the Champions League, but we'll get to that. But yeah, it was just a bad performance. It is, and it just showcases that we need attacking depth more than anything else. And if it wasn't evident today, yes, Saturday, I mean, it was very evident today as well. So, yeah, not a good performance at all.
Yeah. And on top of that, Isak didn't get any cheaper over the weekend as Newcastle beat Nottingham Forest, which was one side of your agenda good, Mark. The other side not so great.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping for a draw.
Newcastle pull out a win, 4-3 against Nottingham Forest. They continue to kind of even themselves out, if you will. I think Nottingham Forest had such a strong start to the season, and now their playing field is kind of leveling out. And like you said, almost a month ago, Mark, they can't score.
Yeah, and if you can't score, you can't win games. Literally, whatchamacallit, as I said, you look at us, you can't score, you're not going to win a game. So
practically this game was 4-2. Ryan Yates scored in the 90th minute. So
so
goal there.
My agenda for at least Nottingham Forest came intact, so stayed intact. So
stayed intact until yesterday.
You mean today?
Or today, whenever it was.
No, my agenda with them is still intact. I'll defend my agenda when we get to today's games.
Harrison, you do have a loss to address. You lost to Villa 2-1.
It is what it is. I said maybe we'll win last week. I was wrong. Color me the fool again, considering my trust in this Chelsea team this entire season. But yeah, a loss is a loss. We're still in the top 5 somehow thanks to yesterday. So
your attack group is so bad if they're not named Cole Palmer.
Yes, and that is why we need to go out
so
this summer.
Bad.
We need to make some splashy signings this summer, and not just
again.
Oh, you're an 18-year-old striker from a random league. Done. You're another 18-year-old striker from a random league. Done. 5 goalies. Fine. Are any of them good? No, not really. Okay, that's fine. We'll just sign them anyway.
It's crazy how boom or bust your offense is depending on the type of game Cole Palmer has.
Yeah, it sucks that we need to rely on him to have a 10 out of 10 match every single week. But that's just the point that we're at. It feels like a very 15-16 Chelsea again, where we were relying on Eden Hazard to have good games, and he was having the worst season of his Chelsea career. Not his career, because his Real Madrid stint was not very good. But in the games where he showed out, we won. And in the games where he was missing, we lost or we drew. And I hate having to rely on one player like that.
It's also so evident. I have to go back and look and see what the results have been. But I feel like whenever you guys score first, number one, it's Cole Palmer who's scoring. But whenever you score first, you lose that game.
Yeah. So
because you're practically playing keep away, and you can only do that for so long when your goaltending problems are so horrific.
If we had Petr Cech or Thibaut Courtois, we could play keep away and just allow that one goal lead to sit. But Robert Sanchez is not Petr Cech nor Thibaut Courtois. He's nowhere even close. To call him a Premier League goalkeeper is a disgrace to other Premier League goalkeepers. Hell, it's a disgrace to whatever the Burnley goalkeeper. He's had 11 straight matches without conceding a goal.
He's got JJ 12 now.
12 now. Good Lord.
Which, if he goes the entire rest of the season with clean sheets, J.J. Watt's going to come out of retirement and play for the Bengals.
That would fix their defense right up, honestly.
I mean, Mark, Arsenal weren't the only one over the weekend with a bad loss. Wolves beat Bournemouth 1-0. Which was like, I had the biggest smile on my face seeing that result. I was like, this is perfect.
Haley.
It feels like, not that Bournemouth is like falling off because they're still playing really well. And, we'll get to Brighton continuing their belt to ass tour following that 7-0 shellacking to Nottingham Forest. But Bournemouth feels like, it's starting to kind of catch up with them with all the injury problems they have, where they're not going out and scoring as much as they were, when they were fully healthy. And now they're trying to kind of survive a little bit, without the full-fledged offense that they have. And it's kind of reflecting in the way that they're playing.
Yeah. Injuries are always a killer. So, eventually it was going to catch up to them, and you don't have the depth to manage it. Eventually it just falls apart. So credit to Wolves, a good game for them. Huge win just to give them a little bit breathing space above the bottom three. But not a good result for Bournemouth at all.
And look at that. Even Tottenham could beat Ipswich.
Oh my God. We still on this?
Yes, because you lost to them.
Fair.
United and Everton drew 2-2. Brentford 4-0 over Leicester.
Everton's been on a bit of a heater recently. Like
ever since they made the manager change. We talked about it last week. Like, the manager bump has just carried over week now, and it's like they've just found themselves.
Moisey was always meant to be in Everton. He really was.
I think I said it last week. Like, Everton's one of those, like, towards the bottom of, like, non-relegation teams that you don't want to see on your schedule right now.
Yep. Especially considering they're fighting for a whole lot more than just their team right now after their scandals in years past.
Yeah. Brighton went belt to ass on Southampton 4-0. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. That Mitoma goal was just he's so what a player. What a fucking player he is.
Hey, you want to make a splash signing, Harrison? Sign him for like $95 million.
That's probably what we're gonna do, honestly.
And he's gonna suck for you.
Mitoma in a Chelsea kit next year already.
He's so good. That touch from João Pedro on that goal was unbelievable. Another solid win for the boys. Crystal Palace helped Brighton out by winning 2-0 against Fulham. And then Liverpool clean sheet against Man City to round out the weekend games.
Yeah.
Was that kind of the moment, Mark, where it was like kind of slipped through the fingers there? Losing to West Ham and then Liverpool handling business as well as they did against City. Was that kind of like the realization that, it's kind of over?
Basically, yeah. I always was I'm always going to have optimism just because I'm a fan of my team and, like, you never know what can really happen. But being realistic about it, it's just like, a lot of stuff had to go our way. And then, like, a lot of stuff had to go against Liverpool. And, yeah, it just, when you have the best player in the world, or at least in the Premier League, at least, we needed a lot to go right. And yeah, a lot of my friends are Liverpool fans, so I texted them, congratulating them. My one friend's like, "Oh, it's still a long season. There's still like 10 games of them." Like, I've seen enough. Like, unfortunately, we don't have enough firepower. At least until Saka and Martinelli come back. So we go again next year.
And then the midweek slate. I mean, what a win for my boys! 2-1 against Bournemouth. That was so needed.
That was not a penalty, by the way.
Hey, I'll take them where I can get them.
I know you'll take them, but it was not a penalty at all.
You can say that all you
Like,
want.
It was just a clash of titans, you know?
You know, the only thing that matters is, was it a penalty on the scoreboard? And yes, it was.
I'll take the 2-1 result. Needed that at home to kind of just continue building positive vibes playing at home. Brighton's been dogs on the road, but the home slate for the entirety of the season's been rough, but 2025 in a pocket has been good. So it's a good result at home. And Mark, you and I were texting like, top 5 is looking like Champions League right now.
yep.
Opens a lot of doors for a very like clogged, like 5 through 12-ish, 5 through 10 in particular in the table right now of just qualifying for different, spots and everything. And Brighton's not too far off that top 5.
Nope. So,
which feels real good. But a great win nonetheless. And then Crystal Palace help us out again. They just absolutely shellac Villa 4-1. Beautiful result. Not that I ever want to see Palace do well, but it helps Brighton in the standings and kind of pushes Aston Villa down quite a bit. I think they're in 10th now after all the games today, if I'm not mistaken. So that helps a lot.
I believe you're right. Yep, Villa are now in 10th.
So that's a beautiful, beautiful result there. Fulham win 2-1 against Wolves. That kind of helps Fulham level out a little bit. Harrison, the floor is yours. A result you should have had. Congratulations on beating Southampton by the same score as Brighton. You want to be us so bad.
It feels so good. I mean, we are 3 spots above you in the table right now. Let's not get that twisted. I know you won the last
we're like
2 games on us.
We're like the SpongeBob meme, Sandy, ready to lasso you up.
Oh yeah. Hopefully this is the kick in the ass the team needs. I'm sure I'll be saying this in 3 weeks when we win our first game in a month again. But like, I feel like this is a good win to carry on momentum. Surprisingly, we had a clean sheet. That's a miracle. Offense was just clicking. Defense actually played pretty well. For once, I have no complaints. We beat a team we should have beat, and that is all that matters. And God for that.
You won a game where Cole Palmer didn't score.
It's a miracle. I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
So a good result for Harrison for once, where he's got a smile on his face.
Oh yeah.
Moving right along, Brentford and Everton draw 1-1. Again, Everton not a team you want to see on your schedule whatsoever right now because there's going to be a thorn in your side. Man City squeaked by Tottenham 1-0. Manchester United beat Ipswich Town. Look at that. Even this god-awful United team could beat Ipswich 3-2.
And they had a red card, too.
10-man United beating Ipswich. Mark, the floor is yours again. A 0-0 nothing burger for both teams against your nemesis, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, so, like, one thing I'll say is Arteta had a press conference, I think yesterday before the game. Yesterday, yeah. And they asked him essentially like, hey, do you think the title race is over? And he said, and I quote, I got to get the right quote, over my dead body. So, like, that, like, made me fired up. And, like, and the thing about this team over the last years is whenever they have a bad game, they tend to bounce back and play better the next one. That wasn't right, but like he got me fired up. I always back my manager. And when we played better, I genuinely think we were the better team over Nottingham Forest. But same issue, we just don't have any attacking threat. Like Wanyeri like played well, but he started to cramp up around halftime, and we played him like another 15 minutes, but like he's 17 years old. Like, you can't put all the onus on a 17-year-old. Like, his body's still growing and developing. Like, you need to, like, space out the minutes and everything. But, like, we don't have a choice right now. Like, we have to play him a lot. Thought Odegaard played better. Defensively, we're fine. Like Forest, I really don't remember any major chances they had. But like we only had one shot on target, and it was from a corner, and I'd argue it should have gone in, but it was a good save by the keeper. Like literally, the fucking Santos said, Nuno Santos said post match, like they normally play back five. They didn't have to play a back five because we didn't have a striker. And then Arteta says, like, I know that the problem is up top. So like everyone's aware of what the issue is. It's on the onus. It's on the board to rectify that solution and get us better attacking options. Like granted, okay, yes, all the injuries we've had, very unfortunate. But at the same time, like look at like a Liverpool bench, look at a City bench, like they have options that they can bring out. Like worst case, like even like somebody like Darwin Nunez, who like is very inconsistent. I had to take him right now just because he'd be our best striker. So it's on the board to fix this, and I do, and like with Arteta saying, like he's putting pressure on the board, and like they all recognize the issue, and it's gonna be resolved in the summer. Because if not, I'm gonna kill myself. But it will be resolved. It's just very frustrating right now. Just a lack of options. But like, you don't have anything better, so we got to figure out how to score somehow.
And then Liverpool knock Isak's price down a little bit with a clean sheet against Newcastle.
He didn't even play. He wasn't even on the bench. Also, like if Isak goes to Liverpool, I will lose my mind instead of us because we're better fit for him. But like, whatever, just get me a striker, please. But also, my agenda for Forest is still good. They are not that damn good.
Liverpool are going to lose Salah and sign Isak just to replace him, just to fuck with Arsenal.
I don't give a shit. No, Salah's going to stay. Van Dijk's going to stay, but Trent's gone. So,
yeah.
And then West Ham and Leicester City play on Thursday, but no real implications on the standings there.
I mean, if Leicester win, they go above, or if they get a point, then they're above Ipswich. But besides,
and if they win, they're only 2 points behind Wolves, so that makes the relegation race a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
But looking at the table as a whole, following past couple of weeks, Liverpool at the top, 67 points. Arsenal in second. Nottingham Forest in third, 48 points. City in fourth with 47. Chelsea in fifth with 46. Newcastle in sixth with 44. Bournemouth in seventh with 43. Brighton in eighth with 43. Fulham in ninth with 42. Villa in 10th with 42. They do have a negative goal differential, which is hilarious.
Fuck Villa.
Brentford is in 11th. They have 38 points. Palace is in 12th with 36. Tottenham, Man United, Everton, West Ham, Wolves, and then relegation nation, Ipswich Town and Leicester City, both with 17 points, and Southampton with 9. I mean, you look at 1 through 10, there's some serious, just like overall table switching more than likely from 3 to 10 that we could see for the rest of the season with how close and congested everything is.
Yeah, I'm just happy my team's got enough wins that like I feel pretty confident that like they'll make the Champions League next year. Like I still think, as I said, they'll finish second. So you guys can all just eat each other and kill each other and just don't. But it doesn't bother my team.
I think I saw something like Oracle did like the predictions, and I think you guys have like a 99.9% chance to make Champions League. So, but I mean, you look 3 through 10 are separated by 6 points.
And I think a bunch of them still have to play each other too. So it's gonna change a lot before the end of the season.
Like Brighton plays Fulham in their next Premier League game. So, and yet people want to say it's the worst Premier League season ever.
I mean, it's a tight. The table's pretty tight from the second down to 17th, but like the champions are run away with it, and it's pretty clear who's going to be relegated for the most part. So I can see where people get into this season.
Just feeling good. I'm feeling good. top 8 looking nice with how draws are going to shake out potentially for Champions League, which trickles down. Love to see it. My 32-year-old manager, happy birthday to him, celebrated a win. Just a beautiful thing. Let's shift to Champions Leagues. We have the full-blown round of 16 draw. It is brought to you by our friends over at Paramount Plus. Guys, don't miss a single second of Champions League action on Paramount Plus. You can tune into every single game, stream it on CBS Live with Paramount Plus. Use our link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus by using our link so you don't miss out on any Champions League. You can watch Mark's new favorite movie, Sonic 3, plus a whole bunch more on Paramount Plus. Sign up today, get started, use the link in the description, and shout out to Paramount Plus for being a proud partner of the podcast. All right, boys, we have the Champions League draw.
Yes, sir.
Top 16 ready to go.
Yeah.
I am just trying to, before we even get to our predictions, obviously we are on Villa Pack Watch. I'm just trying to figure out when the demise crumbles for them. They obviously still have FA Cup coming up this weekend. They also have Champions League right after. Where does kind of the chink in the armor truly happen? This is kind of where we talked about, I think, last week, where they have all these consecutive games kind of like packed in together over the next month or so, including just league play. Where does it start to kind of affect them full send?
I think you're starting to see it right now.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think their focus is going to be on the Champions League, considering they are nowhere near contention for Champions League spots right now in the Premier League, anywhere near the title in the Premier League. They're going to be wanting to come away with a trophy this season. And Club Brugge is a favorable opponent, I would say, for them. It's not best case scenario because Bruges still have played pretty well recently. At least it's not like Real Madrid or like Bayern or Barcelona. But I could still see them going down pretty heavily in the first leg away at Club Brugge, only to fight their way back and still come up short in the second leg at home.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to kind of just see how they operate and maneuver over the next couple of weeks with just so many, tournaments and league play and everything. So definitely something we'll be watching as we watch the demise of Villa. But the draws are in. It will be Villa at Club Brugge on Tuesday, March 4th at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the 3 p.m. slate, which will be Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid at 3 p.m., Arsenal, PSV, and then Dortmund hosting
Lille.
Yeah. So that's the first day of this next round, and then Inter at Feyenoord on Wednesday at 12:45, and then the 3 p.m. slate is Leverkusen at Bayern, Barcelona at Benfica, Liverpool at PSG.
I gotta say, we are so lucky that we're getting 2 interleague rivalry matchups in the Champions League in the round of 16. Real Atleti is going to be insane, as is Bayern and Leverkusen. I feel like Feyenoord and Inter might actually be the most fun tie, though, because both those teams have been playing really fun soccer recently.
Yeah, I think the draw worked out pretty well in terms of just like entertainment value. And
Mhm.
Mark, I'm sure you're thrilled that you draw a team like PSV rather than having to play a Real Madrid in the round of 16.
Well, yeah, that's the benefit of finishing in top 8, baby.
Yep. Oh, uh-oh.
And we're back.
Yeah. Technical difficulties. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the benefit of finishing top 8. I mean, granted, Liverpool got a little fucked over by having to play PSG, but like, you just that's just how the game's played out. You just never know.
Mm-hmm. So we will do our predictions for the round of 16. I'll have them documented so we can kind of keep track and everything. So how do we want to kind of shake it out in terms? Do we just kind of want to pick who we think is going to win, or are we going with? Okay.
And should
Yeah.
we goals on aggregate at the end, or are we just picking the winners?
I do think just picking the winners because I think goals on aggregate is just gonna be impossible to predict.
Yeah. Unless we do it and we look like geniuses.
So we'll start with Villa at Club Brugge, Tuesday, 12:45 p.m. Eastern. Mark, the floor is yours. I'll let you take first crack.
Oh man, as much as I'd like to see Villa lose, and there's a good chance to do, I think they have just a little too much firepower for Club Brugge. So I think over two. These are predictions over 2 legs, correct?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, yeah. I think over 2 legs. I think Villa get through barely, but I think they squeeze through.
Okay.
Harrison, how do you see it shaking out?
So I'm going the opposite of Mark, actually. I think Club Brugge will be able to handle Villa. Considering they handled Atalanta with ease, I would absolutely take Club Brugge over Villa in this situation.
I'm also going very close, but I'm going Club Brugge simply based on everything we've talked about with Villa. Like, they're playing FA Cup this weekend and then quick turnaround. We don't really know how they're going to manage each competition per se. And I just think Club Brugge is kind of like that dark horse team that's just playing like house money. Like, hey, we advanced this far. We have no real pressure on us per se. Let's just see what happens. So I think they're playing loose. I think they're playing fun. But I think it's going to be like close over the 2 legs. But I'm going to go Club Brugge to get the victory in advance.
They're the March Madness team, or the 15th ranked March Madness team who's made it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, they're like the Jack Golke.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Madrid derby.
This one's tough. I want, my heart says Atleti, but my brain says Real because you can never bet against Real Madrid in the Champions League. So that's where I'm going. It's going to be close. It's going to be a tough battle, but I'm going to take Real.
I take Real Madrid as well. I just think that front for Vinny Jr. and Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Bellingham is just too much. It'll be great. There'll be 2 fantastic games, and I'm just annoyed I can't watch both at the same time because my team plays at the same time. But I think Real just barely. I think they advance, and it'll be 2 fantastic games.
Yeah, I'm going with the Real Madrid clean sweep here for us. Mark, your boys.
I don't feel as confident as I did, say, a week ago after our last season. I still think, like, no disrespect to PSV, who are, let me see, Eredivisie, who are currently second in the table. Okay, 5 points behind Ajax. Oh, well, quick aside, good bounce back season for Ajax. They were terrible last year. Anyways, I think even they what's going on?
Your internet bugged out.
We good?
We didn't hear anything you said. You're good now.
Are we good now?
Yeah, we good now.
Okay. It like froze on my screen. So, anyways, I think we have enough firepower and quality just to get through it. It's going to be 2 ugly games, I guarantee it. But like, I will take like a 1-0 away and then like a 1-0 at home and just advance. I do think we advance, but I do feel less confident than I did a week ago.
Yeah, I'm still going Arsenal. I think they have the pedigree to kind of handle the situation and advance. But like you said, I think it'll be ugly. I think it'll be, not high scoring games. But I'm going to go with Arsenal to advance.
I'm going to veer away from the pack here. Give me PSV. They've had some impressive wins in the Champions League recently. They've knocked off Juventus. They've knocked off Liverpool. And they're flying pretty high while Arsenal are starting to dip in quality just a tad. So give me PSV.
Final Tuesday for leg 1, Lille and Dortmund. I'm rocking with Dortmund in this one.
Same.
Dortmund terrible. Like, I'm gonna go with Lille, honestly. Dortmund just terrible you're gonna have to do so much extra work.
No, that's fine.
But but I don't see them advancing past Lille.
So Mark's got Lille. Harrison and I both have Dortmund. Then we have Inter and Feyenoord. Harrison, how you see that one shaking out as your fun matchup of the round of 16?
I say Inter take it at the end. It's going to be a bunch of good matches between the two of them. They're both flying pretty high right now and playing some fun soccer, as I said earlier. But I can't bet against Inter. They're one of those teams that hit a different stride in the Champions League. They always have. It feels like whenever they make it, they always will. So give me Inter.
I agree, but I'm also kind of just going with trends in my brain. And SerieA has had a dog shit Champions League.
That is
pretty
also
much
fair.
Their entire table got wiped out going into the round of 16. Not saying it's the same case for Inter, obviously. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people anticipate. Feyenoord's also kind of playing like that dark horse type of team where it's like, hey, we have nothing to really lose. Let's go in loose. I'm going to pick Inter, but I will not be shocked if Feyenoord end up winning.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
I don't think it's actually going to be that particularly close, personally. I think Inter win handily. They have arguably one of the best defense in the Champions League left. I think they handle them Feyenoord easily. I will eat crow if I'm wrong, and I'll hold my hands. I'll be like, "Okay, you got me," but I don't see it happen. I think Inter advance pretty handily.
Then we got the Bayern Bowl. Harrison, I'll let you start.
Bayern have not looked too impressive as of late. They're looking good, but they could look way better. Give me Leverkusen. Straight up, give me Leverkusen. I think they are playing with everything they've got right now. They want to recoup the embarrassment of the Europa League final last year, and what better way to do it than by beating your biggest rival in the Bundesliga for the title in the Champions League and giving them a shot that they might not want to see coming. So, yeah, give me Dortmund. Or not Dortmund, Leverkusen.
Who you got, Mark?
Is he with us? He might be frozen.
I'll go mine. I'll bounce off of what you said, Harrison.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the opposite direction of you because I think this is my American sports brain.
Yeah.
And you kind of throw out everything when you're playing a rival.
That's fair.
And it's the Champions League, so it kind of elevates it that much more.
Yeah.
I think Bayern end up winning, and I think this is going to be like ugly, like nasty type of, legs that we'll get here to really level out the playing field that we'll get in this round of 16, but I'm going to go Bayern to get the dub.
Either way, that's going to be an ugly and fun matchup, and it's going to be a joy to watch. It's going to hurt the players afterward. But
what do you think is going to be more ugly, the Bayern Bowl or the Madrid Derby?
Madrid Derby. Madrid Derby by a mile. Those two teams hate each other. Hate with a capital H. So, hey,
bang. Yeah, I agree with you, Harrison. Who do you have for the Bayern Bowl, Mark?
I have Leverkusen. I think it'll be two fantastic matches, same as the Madrid derby. I think Leverkusen is just a better team. The only thing that's giving me a little pause is, and it's the same issue that Arsenal had with Bayern last year when I was confident we win. In Champions League, it's all about individual difference makers because these are one-off games. Like Premier League, like the table doesn't lie. Like over 38 games, table normally doesn't lie. But like in these one-off games, like you just need to play 2 good games only. And Bayern has more difference makers. But I do think that Leverkusen overall is a better team, even though Bayern are above them in this table. I'll say Leverkusen advance.
Then we go to Barcelona and Benfica.
Oh, if we get anything like we did, like their 5-4 thriller over 2 leg, if this goes over 2 leg, fantastic. I expect lots of goals, lots of action. I think Barcelona will advance. Just I think they're the better team, but expect lots of goals, no defense at all. Just basketball game, just going from one end to the other.
I completely agree with Mark. I think they're going to split the series. I think Benfica are going to win one and Barcelona are going to win the other. But I think Barcelona wins their game by 2 goals, whereas Benfica win their game by 1 goal. And that will be the difference maker. And Barcelona will advance in the end.
Yeah, I'm also going Barcelona. Yeah. And then the final matchup, Liverpool PSG.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh.
Oh.
This one is tough. I got to take Liverpool in this situation. I think it's going to be a dogfight in both matches, but Mohamed Salah is going to score a goal with like 10 minutes left in the second leg that puts Liverpool through, and that I feel like I can bet on.
It's tough because like both teams going forward are great. It's just who do I trust more defensively? And I honestly PSG, just because I'm imagining Barcola or Dembele going up against Trent and just laughing maniacally. But I think Liverpool advance but I do think Liverpool advance.
Yeah, I'm going Liverpool as well. I just think that the way they're just attacking, obviously Mo Salah, like game changer, like individual difference maker, 10x. Like he's just unbelievable right now, and I think that will pay dividends for sure. So Mark, you've got Villa, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Lille, Inter, Leverkusen, Barcelona, Liverpool.
Yep.
Harrison, you've got Club Brugge, Real Madrid, PSV, Dortmund, Inter, Leverkusen, Barcelona, Liverpool. Yep. And I've got Club Brugge, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Dortmund, Inter, Bayern, Barcelona, Liverpool.
Yep.
Let's see how correct we are in a couple weeks here.
Yep. Should be a doozy. And obviously, we will recap everything that happens in the first leg, kind of preview the second leg as well based on what we get in that first leg and kind of see how things flip with the home and home, obviously. And then the quarterfinals, April 8th. So once this
Yep.
wraps up, it'll be on April 8th for the quarters, and then April 15th is the second leg. So we have that all situated. Anything else on Champions League, boys?
Just please get healthy Sack and Martinelli soon. That's all I can say. Please. I miss my star boy and I miss my young Brazilian.
It is fun having a Brazilian to root for. I'll say that much.
I'll have one next year. Thankfully.
Last bit here, FA Cup weekend. It's brought to you by our friends over at Biñho. Guys, we love Biñho. It is the next big tabletop game for your tailgates, your man caves, your she sheds, your parties, whatever it may be. You whip out a Biñho board at your event. You're going to be the talk of the town. It's paper football meets foosball in the next big tabletop flicking experience. They've got officially licensed Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, Juventus, and an entire MLS collection that are officially licensed. Plus, you can customize your own board. They have traditional boards as well, accessories, merchandise, you name it. Biñho's the best. Use our link in the description, and when you go to checkout, use code Biñho Bennett 62. That's code Biñho Bennett 62 when you use our link in the description to get 10% off your entire order from our pals over at Biñho. Fifth round of the FA Cup coming up this weekend, Friday through Monday. My boys are still alive, which is good to see. Very excited. Biggest test, I think, so far for them. With Newcastle away, it's going to be a test for sure. But if you can get over that hump, there's a pretty nice path to get to the final, I would say. But on Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, Cardiff City at Villa. I would love to see Cardiff City pull the upset.
That would
You
be
and me
incredible.
both.
That would be beautiful.
Yes.
Millwall at Crystal Palace gets the Saturday slate going at 7:15 a.m. Eastern. Again, would love to see Crystal Palace fall at home. That would be fantastic.
Oh, wait, you said who? Millwall, Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Oh, those two are big rivals, too. That atmosphere is going to be insane.
Yeah, that's going to be a ton of fun. Burnley at Preston on Saturday at 7:15 a.m. Wolves at Bournemouth at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Plymouth Argyle at Man City. After they took down Liverpool, they get Man City next, 12:45 p.m. on Saturday. And then Sunday, 8:45 a.m., Brighton at Newcastle. And then Sunday at 11:30 a.m., Fulham at Man United. And then on Monday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, Ipswich Town at Nottingham Forest.
There we go.
There we go.
I think for Brighton's like clear path to success, the big club you need knocked out here is Villa. Just get them out of the way.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see Bournemouth fall to Wolves again. And then for whatever reason, like United turns it on for like, these cups and everything, but I would love to see Fulham get bounced because they're right there. And then next Premier League action for Brighton is against Fulham. So would love to see them kind of get bounced. And then obviously mark your agenda still fully on the table and cup play. And who knows?
Correct.
Even if Ipswich Town could beat Nottingham Forest.
Correct.
I think that
Correct.
game could be a lot closer than a lot of people think too. Simply because Nottingham Forest doesn't score.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I mean, Plymouth Argyle. We'll see if the dream run continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine
I would
it
love to
does.
see it.
That would be
That would be
beautiful.
incredible. Incredible.
That would be absolute scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Just go giant slaying 2 rounds in a row. But yeah, we'll see if Brighton continues to play with dominant success as they have over the past 4 or 5 matches since that 7 shellacking. Also, I just wanted to bring up, did you guys see Baliba try to do the bicycle kick off the goal kick against Bournemouth?
Yeah.
Absolute shithousery. That was
That was
amazing. Anything else before we hop on out of here, boys?
I got nothing.
It's a miracle. We won a game we were supposed to win. It's a bloody miracle.
It is nice. Next Premier League matchups for pretty much all of us.
Yeah.
You've got Leicester City, Harrison on March 9th.
Oh, thank God.
Agenda chasing again for Mark. You're at Man United. And then Brighton, Fulham for some big time standing implications, which will be a ton of fun.
Yep.
Which we will break down next week and prepare for. But make sure you guys are following us on the socials. You can also leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/FCTopBins. Get your banter in, get your thoughts off, your takes, all that good stuff. We'll react to them on the show. If you leave them, speakpipe.com/FCTopBins. Subscribe to the pod on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click the bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And another edition of Top Pins in the books for you. Enjoy the upcoming weekend and midweek events in the beautiful game. We'll see you guys here next week. But until then, we'll see you next week.